Hey out there, survivors, how you all doing today? And I'm delighted to have you back for another Let's Survive interview. Today I am beyond ecstatic to be joined by another goddamn outlaw. There are outlaws everywhere. But this time we've got the one and only Karen Jones, Jo Armeniox on the show. Jo, thank you so much.
Thank you. What an intro. Holy shit.
That's it. We were just talking off mic about how we're matching, and we didn't pre-plan this, okay? We did not pre-plan this.
I did. I subconsciously told you.
You planted it. You incepted it into my head. Cool.
Yeah, I had dreams about it. It's all in my power. But we look great, right?
Absolutely. We're killing it. Yeah, like 100%. I think you gotta go with kind of flannel for outlaw interviews. That's what I feel.
Or it just feels right. This is actually this is actually Mary Beth Gaskell's shirt, if I really want to give credit. Yeah, so it's all in the family now, okay?
That is amazing. What a great way to kick this off. So, yeah, I guess my first kind of question for yourself, Jo, is what was it like for you the first day you arrived on set for Red Dead 2? What was that experience like?
First of all, I showed up like 2 hours late. They damn near fired me. Probably should have. It was a whole thing. Yeah, I really screwed up. And luckily I had made friends with Tony, a couple people that were like in casting. It was great. Like, they're amazing people. So they were like, all right, we get it. You fucked this up, but we're going to let you stay. You can stay for now.
Strike one.
Yeah, but so I had done a couple of other video games before, like Ride to Hell, and like a couple there's another like Need for Speed or something, like, you know. I had done other mocap at the same like place where we were shooting before, so I kind of knew what to expect, which is good as a woman if you're like being given like an outfit that's like this weird thing that's like super like spandexy, like one of those full body swimsuits essentially, and then they're like just putting balls all over you. If you don't know what's going on, like, you're really screwed. But I was cool about it. I was like, all right, I'll probably be here for like a couple days. We'll see what happens. And I probably should have been, but somehow by the skin of my teeth, they let me stick around. But yeah, it was amazing. You know, like, at that point, you're starting to deal with people that like genuinely, they have a vision. And because it's RDR2, I had no idea it was RDR2. I was like, cool, it's some video game. I'd already done video games that I literally have never even seen my work in before. So I was like, I don't care at all. What are we doing? Tell me my lines. Like, let's, get this done. And lo and behold, 6 years later, I was still showing up on set, and they still put up with my bullshit. So, yeah.
That is crazy. So, like, yeah, you didn't get that. Obviously, like, the reason I asked that question is, like, I guess for people who haven't done mocap before, I imagine that they, like, walk in and it's, like, this crazy, bizarre other world. But, like, you had experience in that already, so it probably wasn't a gigantic leap. But, yeah, like, it's funny. What was it? I think it was Sean. Was it Sean Haberly that said the mocap suits were, I think he called them the great equalizer. He was like, those things.
Perfect way to phrase it.
Yeah. He was like, nobody looks good in them. No one. No, and
I was determined. I was like, I work out. I fight for these moments in life. And I still don't think I got it.
As you say,
I could have spent years training for that fucking suit, and I never would have really nailed it, you know?
Oh, fucking hell.
It's also because, like, the fabric is so thin, like, you can just see. Well, I don't know. I'm going to live in denial. I looked incredible, okay?
Actually, I will say that, yeah, I'm just kind of adding an extra part here that off mic, Sean said you of everyone looked incredible, obviously.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, he wants to keep the romance going, off screen for the fans, yeah. Kudos to him. What an amazing guy.
off mic, we were talking a little bit about, Mick Malamphy, who of course plays Sean in the game, and also you mentioned Sam Strelitz there about the shirt. I'd love to know a little bit about like the kind of bond that you formed with the other cast members in the other Outlaws.
Well, it's no secret. I made a huge effort to make friends with some of these women once I realized that we were probably going to be seeing each other over a long period of time. And to be completely fair, like that wasn't just because I was an insecure nerd who needed friends, but I mean that's part of it. But also, you don't get that chance that often. You know, like there are certain shows where I'll do a guest star on, and that at the most, that's if I'm on location. And it still feels like you're on location. I mean, you're displaced, you're going back home soon. You're not developing a community. So when you get the chance to start to figure out, wait a second, even though we weren't allowed to know that much, I mean, we really didn't know what the hell was going on. But I was picking up that like, there's more going on here. And if I'm lucky, I'm going to keep seeing these people. So to develop that kind of community within that game was so important to me, because I was like, this is going to make me a better person. This is going to make my world bigger and stronger, my network as an actor, just as friends, because it's not that easy when you feel like you're always competing with people. But when you're in a situation like that, you're not competing. You want to work together. And so I really wanted to facilitate those relationships. And I've been so lucky that they were all down for it. And, like Rockstar, put up with my bullshit. And we still, we text all the time. It's been really tough with the pandemic because, and I literally just posted on my Instagram stories today, like I miss my crew from a picture of a photo shoot that me, Mia Davis, Kylie Vernoff, and Sam Strelitz did together for this amazing lipstick line called Psyche and Beauty that like was like so dope. We got this like amazing lipstick and stuff. Anyway, that plug that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
I'm actually wearing it right now. I should have said actually I'm promoting
the
this
beard. It's the beard shade, right?
Yeah.
That shade is tough. I can't pull that one off for some reason. People get confused. I can't. For some reason, guys don't look at me when I wear the beard shade. It's like really insulting.
No, that's amazing though. Like being brought into like let's say market a product like based on the work you've done in this game, and especially a group of women, like, which I think is great because games as a medium, like there's always been female characters like Lara Croft is one of the formative, but it was always a bit different. They were always massively sexualized and like and then once you get up to or the opposite, they were complete damsels in distress, like Princess Peach needs saving. I love Mario, I love Princess Peach, but I'm just saying
or like even the Mario, that was always confusing to me. I was like, really, there's like two guys that make pizza and then this like princess. I didn't get that.
They can save the world, they can jump on mushrooms. I get you.
I guess I didn't even make pizza. That's fucked up.
They clean toilets, that's what they did.
Oh, that's right, they're floors. God, don't edit this part.
Edit that part out. No, but the thing is, it's cool, like, when you get female characters like all the ones mentioned, like, Miss Grimshaw, Tilly, Karen, and Mary Beth, there couldn't be any more different, all four of those characters, which, again, is great because it's another thing that happens with female characters and stuff, is that they often get, kind of, like, stereotyped, or like all female characters get written the same way. But it's great, like Karen's boisterous, loud, sassy. Mary Beth is quite reserved and kind of like God-fearing, I guess. Tilly starts out quite meek and soft and then becomes so much stronger as the game goes on. And then Miss Grimshaw starts off as a total hard ass that I could see myself never liking, and then by the end of it I was like, I actually grew to kind of like her.
If you don't end up liking her, you've got issues.
Yeah. Like,
deeply, like, intense. She is such a badass. Like, it's true. I completely agree with you. So many of these characters, like, just have these whole other lives. And you don't necessarily get to... It's hard to write female characters when you have a room full of guys writing the scripts. And I don't blame them, but this was a chance to change that. And they really did a good job, and I'm really so grateful to be able to manifest just a tiny part of that, you know. And also, I mean, I cannot lie. Like, we don't look incredibly alike, but I mean, there's a huge part of Karen Jones inside of me that that I'm like, man, I'm so glad she gets to be out there in the world and for people to understand her better, because then the more we tell those stories with characters that people understand deeply, the more we understand each other, you know?
Oh, no, definitely.
We grow as a community.
It's cool, though, that you go there, because that was actually something I was going to ask, was like, because it fascinates me, right? I'm a director myself, and I'm a writer-director, and I love character. Like, character to me is everything. And so I always want to find out, like, what, like, was there, obviously in your case, I think I know the answer, but, like, was there elements of this character that you really latched to, that, like, were, like, you could connect to, that, like, I understand this girl, as you just said, part of me is her, but, like, I guess because of the nature of it, where you weren't getting it all at once, that's not immediately apparent anyway.
So, you know, I don't want to tell too much of my own, you know, dirty, dark secrets.
Yeah,
there's so many as I sit in the Target parking lot. Jesus Christ. Like, what happened? Thank God we're wearing the same shirt. So I can be like, we're the same. You're Karen Jones, okay, Paddy?
Yes. Okay.
But like, she definitely, the boisterousness is a word that I've been called before, that I at first was like, excuse you, and then I was like, yeah, you're boisterous, deal with it. So I think your characterization of her is really spot on. The way that she feels like she needs to prove something, not just among the men, it just happens that way. I don't think she's thinking, I have to go prove myself to these men. She's not. She's like, this is just what I want to do. She's not thinking, I'm a woman, I shouldn't be robbing a bank. She's like, I just want to fucking rob a bank. Let's go rob the bank. And she's not thinking that when she talks to Arthur that he's going to say, Karen, calm down. You're just a woman, you know? Yeah. Like, she's like, I'm telling you, dude, we're going to rob this bank, and I'm telling you how to do it. And he's like, well, all right. You know, and there were, you know, moments where I got to really see that the writers were connecting Arthur and I truly as friends, which is also another sort of rare thing for video games, where you're like, you either have this like heroine who doesn't have any romantic really associations at all, or, you know, you involve a bunch of different people together, and usually the women and men somehow interact. And there are some of those moments for Karen, like a drunken moment with John. And like, for me as an actor, I was like, I had this for Karen, I was like, I think she might have this crush on Micah, because there's no other reason why she would hate him so much, because he hasn't done her personally any wrong. Yeah. Like, directly. Even the wrong he was doing, like, in normal lives, like our lives now, would probably piss her off. But during those theoretical times, he was great to her, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Like, she was just like, I hate you for some reason. I fucking hate you. So, yeah, but the romance stuff doesn't really happen. So it was really smart, I think, for the writers to have Karen involved and have her not be involved because she was some tiny hot little thing. She was like, I'm telling you what to do. Like, I'm going to be an asset. I'm going to help you get this done. And I'm going to be smart about it. I'm going to be transformative about it. And I'm going to be a shit ton of fun, you know? Yeah.
Like, one thing that stands out to me is that, like, Karen, as far as I can remember, because it's been a little while, it's been a hot minute since I played it, because I played it after it was a reward for finishing my last film.
You're dead to me. You're dead to me.
I just got the PS5 and I downloaded it again, so I'm playing it again. My thing is, I want to get all the interviews done before I go back and play it again. I feel like that'll be my reward that time.
That's cool. That's cool. I love that. You get like, I love it. You get like that inside scoop. Yeah. It's so cool.
That's the plan anyway. Fingers crossed. But like, it's been great so far getting to chat to everyone. But like, the thing with Karen, from what I remember, is that she's also one of the only women in the camp that is actually she stands guard and stuff. Like, she's, as you say, the thing I like about the Outlaw Gang in general is they don't really kind of put people in these roles. They don't kind of say, well, now you're the woman, sit down. You know, as you say, of that time, how it would have been, unfortunately, they don't. They're like, we're all the same. We're all outlaws. And there is a little hierarchy, but if you can hold a gun and you can fucking do your part, you are welcome to, you know, take as much as you want here. Like, it's yours. And I like that. The Karen is kind of like, well, I can and I will.
Oh, I will. Yeah, it was dope to be able to, like, with props too, just to hold, because you need guns. Big gun person, don't get me wrong. I know I'm actually down here in the South right now. I'm not a big gun person. But as a prop, you can't just, it's like kind of like wearing a corset, or when you put on a suit, you feel different, you know, and having that actual weight in your hand, you're like, okay, like I can use this as a prop. And that also helps define the weight of this era that you're trying to represent, and the heaviness of what's going on in the world, and the darkness, which we eventually see in the game. I mean, if you've played it through, you know, like it's no comedy.
No.
So those little things all pieced together, and you're talking like millions of choices that these creators have made. You're talking like 80 hours of gameplay plus.
Yeah.
All those little choices are defining something so specific like that to enhance that world. And I'm blown away every time I think about it, you know?
That is awesome. And like, you said you'd kind of had one or two experiences in games before this, but like that you didn't play them necessarily or anything, but like, have you been, like, are you into games? Were you into games before you started this journey, or?
I mean, I'll say this once, and I've said it so many times, but I mean it when I say it. Anybody can play me in Street Fighter 2, and I will beat your ass.
Nice! That is amazing. Yes.
Mortal Kombat, I will put up a good fight, but I don't know all the fucking tricks. I played Sonic the Hedgehog Sega was like the greatest thing that ever existed, but that's also like, I mean, it's not like what we have now. What we have now is so amazing, so incredible, and I sound like probably like a total old lady being like, I played Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I was like a kid, but still, you know, it was still fun. It was still part of my world, and like watching somebody rip somebody's head off and make a birthday cake out of it in Mortal Kombat was like, that's cool, you know? Like, I don't think it fucked me up that much, you know? Like, and so now, like, you know, it's tricky to like playing Fortnite, and I'm like, wait, we just kill people? You know? It's wild. Clearly I'm not, you know. Sam is very into the gaming world, and I think it's so hot. She's hot at everything. You know, I love the honesty though that me and Kylie and Mia have put into it, and also Alex. We're like, hey, you know, like, did some stuff, did a little. I mean, I can't find my fucking rifle. I make that joke all the time, but it's true. I still can't. Dutch is still looking at me, going, Arthur, like, get your rifle. Like, and I'm like, I don't know which horse is mine. I'm so sorry. But honestly, like, you know, I like attention. I like to be boisterous, like Karen. I don't have the attention span for it. So I feel like people can understand why maybe I'm not the biggest gamer in terms of Red Dead, but I am a huge fan of it overall. Yeah,
like, I think as well, like, the thing with games is they're such a massive, especially modern games, like you say, are massive time sink. Like, and to anybody who's in a professional world, like, you know, acting, whatever, directing, all that stuff, it's like, it's so hard to set aside. It's part of the reason why I've started doing this channel and Twitch and stuff, is because it's the only way I can allow myself time anymore to play video games and talk about video games. Because, like, outside of that,
are you serious?
Pretty much. Because, like, yeah, like, it's like I should be writing, I should be working on this, working on that, and then so I'm like, okay, well, if I stream twice a week for 4 hours, I get 8 hours of video games in, you know, like, so I think it's very easy, or like, people expect, like, I would love if these people who are the characters in games and stuff play the games and stuff, and I'm like, but they probably don't, because they're probably really, really fucking busy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and also, like, it takes a certain kind of, like, confidence too. I think people associate it with, like, you know, you're like, oh, you're you know, in some dark place somewhere, like, just living away, and it's like, no, it takes a lot of confidence to be like, I'm actually gonna figure this out and put in the effort, and like any kind of puzzle or anything else. And you know, actors are notoriously, you know, insecure. So I can have that always to rely on. I'm like, I'm not confident enough to play it. And also, I don't really want to, I don't know. It's different because it's not me. Like, it's me moving around and it's me talking, but the avatar is not my body, you know? So I can't really judge myself too harshly, but it still feels a little self-conscious at times, if that makes sense.
100%. I can't relate to it because I've never seen an avatar of myself, or like of that's not me in a 3D
right,
space.
Yeah.
I think Rob Wiedoff said something similar, alright, even about being like the playable character in Red Dead 1 was like, yes, that's me, but it's not me. Like, it doesn't look like me. It's not, you know. And there was a disconnect for Rob as well. My favorite story with that was Rob saying that, you know, once he saw the run animation, he was like, why did they make him run like that? And his wife is like, you run like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You do realize that people, like, really don't know how they run. And when you see yourself running, it's like a whole new world. Like,
running and jumping, because jumping is the least graceful thing that anybody does unless they're like a proper acrobat or something.
Oh my god, maybe that's why they cut all those scenes of me running around. Oh my god, it must have been it. No one will ever know.
That's it. Yeah, that ended up on the cutting room floor. Oh yeah. So this is the first time on any of the episodes I've done so far that I've had a viewer question. So close friend of mine, a member of the Discord, and a fellow Twitch streamer by the name of Hootenanny, which he is a fantastic streamer. There'll be links in the description to check him out. He is a huge fan of yours. He's a huge fan of Red Dead, huge fan of yours. Said he started following you and Sam Strelitz and a few other people like right after the game came out on Insta. Cool. And he said his question was, Joe, there's been a lot of theories about it, but for you, thinking from the character's perspective, where do you think Karen ended up at the end of Red Dead 2? And
yeah, so a lot of people think I died, but I'm like, fuck you, first of all, you nihilists. And then, you know, it's super negative. If anybody knows anything about Karen, she's like a fighter, and I can't say because I honestly don't fucking know. But I do know that if you really understood her and understood how, I just don't think she was, I think she was really, really depressed. And I think it's really fun to be able to question, you know, there was a letter maybe, or maybe there wasn't. I don't know where people are at with everything. And, you know, it suggests that maybe I just, you know, haven't been found. And I'm like, it's not really Karen's style, you know? And also you're talking about turn of the century. Like there's no like MySpace page for Karen in the 2000s, because we're not talking about that turn of the century. We're talking about a whole other turn of the century. So nobody knows where I am. And I think it's really rude that people want to be like, definitely overdosed or whatever, you know, drank too much. I think it's rude. I want to believe that, you know, there's just a whole new game coming out where it's just like, get on board Karen. She's the outlaw and it's Karen Jones time now.
That would be super badass, actually.
It would kind of be hot, right? Like it'd be like such a jump like from the typical. I think people would actually be kind of into it.
I think so as well. I think we're at an age where like that is the kind of storytelling we want. Like we're kind of sick of the same 5 white guy protagonists that we see in everything.
What do you mean? Never heard of that.
But like, yeah, I know it's true though. I will say that like I like everybody that played the game. I don't know what happened to Karen, but like you, the name of the game is Red Dead Redemption, and I typically like to, unless the game tells me otherwise, I like to presume that everybody had some form of redemption. You know what I mean? Like.
You're like, let me not take this too literally, but I really think like redemption means something about the game. Wow, I guess you're fucking right though. Like,
well, like the way I look at it is like the Reverend kind of finds redemption. Even Strauss, that rat, like through his loyalty to the end, kind of redeems himself a little bit. Like each of the characters kind of has a Miss Grimshaw, great redemption arc. So I just kind of like in my head, I was like, yeah, like you, I'm like, I don't see Karen just wallowing in, you know, a pit somewhere, drinking herself to death. I don't see that. You know what I mean?
I love the poet in you. Beautiful. I respect it. Because you're literally talking about like breaking down literarily like just the title and making sense of it, which I honestly haven't really thought about, which is like, oh, sorry, Sam literally just tried to FaceTime me. That's so
Get her on. We'll all
I know. I should tell her to join in. You can send her the link.
Yeah.
Seriously, I wouldn't mind that at all. I miss her so much. I miss everybody so much. I miss you. And we just met. Like,
I know, right?
I'm the romantic. I don't know what to tell you, you know? But I think that's really insightful of you. And you know what? There are so many characters, but if you're going to find the common thread, I don't think you're going to find the whole essence of the game and the title. I mean, I know it's, you know, second round of it all, but it can't just be in Arthur's plight. It has to be overall a universal message with that. I think that's really interesting, and I need to think about it more before I say anything that actually makes any sense.
Well, there you go. Something to ponder on. Yeah, I overanalyze, again, whether it's the writer, director in me or what, but I just overanalyze everything. No,
I don't even think, I think you're just being really smart, you know, like anybody who reads a book goes, why is it called this? You know, Hamlet is called Hamlet for a reason. So
yeah, but of that, I'm sure Carl will be absolutely delighted that with the response to your question, though, or to his question, not your question. Do you have a question for Karen?
So what, Karen? How do you tell me what Karen would think? Do you think Karen was like desperately searching for a bra that actually fit her, or do you think she found a way to like make that happen? Because come on, I mean, she must have been like, look, I'm trying to rob banks. I can't even get a decent, like, you know, Belk Amazon bra.
Yeah.
They really did that. They really did that big. They, for lack of a better word, they really went all out with that. I was like, wow. Yeah. Not to objectify my own character, but like, honestly, I do worry about her. I'm like, she's not getting her 30%, obviously, on the dollar. And she doesn't even have a bra that she can wear. Edit, cut that.
Gone. It's gone. Moving on. And I'll leave in the part where I say gone, moving on, just so people are like, what were they talking about?
Oh, absolutely. And just have me looking like really nervous and like embarrassed.
But yeah, kind of moving away from Red Dead for a second, you've also worked on Pokemon series for quite a while.
Yes.
Yes. That's got to have been amazing as well, because, I mean, you know, Pokemon is I guess it's coming up on like 25 years of a series, just like, it's just been one of the biggest brands of all time. So like being part of that world's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it's been so cool. I mean, it's been different because it's technically global in a way, just a little different because like the massive amount of like being part of the release of Red Dead 2 was like boom all at once. But like Pokemon's been around for a while, so I sort of was like doing like a relay run where I like took the baton in the Pokemon thing like a few years after it had been big. But my friend Sarah Nanacheni is the voice of Ash, and she was like, do you want to like work on the show? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, here's, you know, come in this day and read for this. And then got to book Shauna, which was so cool. And then, you know, Plumeria, and then like a couple other roles. But those were two completely different characters. And that franchise is so fascinating because you really learn a lot about the world. And then you learn a lot about the culture from which it's coming from. Like the Japanese stuff is like so fascinating, how that translates, all the underlying stuff that's going on, because I really didn't know that much about it. I just know how to do the voices and stuff, you know, or at least faking my way through it at least. And, you know, very, very nervously, because I was like, what am I doing? I don't know this show, but it's fun, man. Like those characters, they're actually, Shauna especially is super empowering. Like she's one of the coolest characters because they do these massive competitions. And Shauna's like, look, I get it. I'm awesome. Yeah. But you're awesome too. And I'm going to support you. And if you win, I'm going to still love you. And that kind of ironically at the time, as an adult, this cartoon was teaching me like how to be a bigger, more whole person, you know?
Kind of about like rivalries and healthy rivalries as opposed to like, yeah, like, screw you.
Feeding off the competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Which never really gets you anywhere, because the truth is, like, if you don't create those bonds, you don't really, again, it's like, it comes back to community. And it's similar, like in the acting world, you need a community of people. And God, I've been so grateful. I'm so glad that things like that role taught me those things, you know, and or at least reinforced it. You know what I mean?
No, it's true. One of the recent guests I had on, he was Gonzalo Martin from Life is Strange 2. He said, he was like, I was asking him for his advice to actors out there like wanting to do stuff, and he was like, the usual stuff, but his last one was like, he was like, and more important than all the other advice, find yourself a good group of friends who will support you, because with this job, you will need that regularly, because there's a lot of hard times where you need friends to reach to.
I love that. I think it makes me feel so good when I hear about other actors like that, you know, you're speaking with, to say that kind of thing, because it does mean a lot. And it's not easy, because we have our egos and we have these fragile, you know, parts of ourselves that we want to hold tight to. But the truth is, the more you let them go, the stronger you get. Yeah. My biggest question for you, though, is, was he wearing this shirt while he was doing the interview? Because I don't respect him really otherwise, you know?
I hate to disappoint you, but actually I could go back and just CGI the shirt on him. Yeah, he was wearing the shirt.
Can we superimpose it onto every one of your guests?
Just in future, that's a yeah, like if you're coming on the show, you gotta wear the red flannel shirt.
I don't know. It's just really making me happy right now. I'm sorry.
I think Rob may have worn something like this. That
makes 1,000% sense to me. Yes. Yeah, he's a flannel wearing man. I mean, that man does all kinds. He's like, yeah, I just built a chicken coop and, you know, farmed a whole row of cornfields and some shit. I'm like, I don't even, and I'm like good at that stuff. And I was like, wow, he's next level out there.
Like, Rob is like, it's so funny because even though he doesn't necessarily look like the character, he is John Marston. Like, he's John Marston. They really
did a good job with him, right? Like, they found him and they were like, I mean, but he was out in LA for a while, I think. Yeah. And then he, ended up being, is it Indiana? Indiana. He's out in India right now, actually.
Exactly. He's in India.
I love that I don't have a ring light. I'm using a Target parking lot light as my ring light, and I'm like, is this working
for you? It's working.
Oh my God, Paddy.
So you look fantastic. It's the
You're amazing. It's the shirt. I know. You obviously can vouch for it. I do look better now with the lipstick, though. Okay, good.
Is that the lipstick we're meant to be marketing, actually?
No, but that's actually in my other pocket. I just didn't want to lose. I didn't want to have even more distractions other than Sam trying to FaceTime me to lose you on this call.
So kind of just jumping quickly as well, because, you know, as we say, Red Dead, Pokemon, like, these are big franchises that you've been involved in. I will say that I have seen the college humor stuff you've done, which I find...
No way!
Yes, which I love. I love what I would call kind of stupid humor, and I'm not saying that as an insult. Like, I love stupid, goofy humor, and the college humor stuff is always that. But the Hunger Games ones that you were involved in, I thought were funny.
I love those. It's so funny. This is like one of those moments where I'm not afraid. There was this bag though that I had. They found this like really old bag. This is one of those, like, you remember those MTV music videos that were like, it'd be like a pop-up bubble and it would like tell you this weird information. Yes. This is like one of those tidbits. They had this like super old ass bag that like sort of looked like the archery bag that Katniss had, but the inside of the lining was just like falling apart, like massive flakes of this plastic coming off of like what could have been considered leather at some time. And it got in my hair, and like I actually did have dandruff at the time because I was like dealing with some eczema stuff, which is super sexy. But the truth is,
I can empathize. So we're all good.
But if you look in the video, this actually wasn't my own cute little sexy dandruff, you know, back then. It was this massive flakes from this bag that was like getting... I just, full disclosure, like, I don't want to lie, like, and act like I'm some kind of special human that isn't human. But these were these huge flakes, and I remember my boyfriend at the time watching it and being like, haha, what the fuck? You know, like, what is going on? And I don't want to make it about vanity, but yeah, I get really self-conscious about that. So if you see it next time, be like, there it is. I see the leather flakes in her hair. But that was actually, I almost hit a guy with an arrow during that shoot. Yeah,
wow.
That was
nice.
But they're amazing. Those shoots were amazing. College Humor, I've gotten to write for them and work for them and
that's awesome.
Or collaborate. It's been amazing over the years for that. But these days, there's not a lot going on with that, so it's tricky, right?
100%. But just quickly, because like I like to, on this show, I like to kind of touch on stuff beyond just the games and stuff, because, as I say, coming from the background within the industry myself, games excite me, but everything else does: acting, writing, directing. I've seen, like, you've obviously done like work on TV and stuff as well, but you were in this My Best Day?
That Sundance movie, yeah.
Yeah, like, which I saw, like, I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend, like, but like, I watched the trailer, it looks good. I love anything that has the Sundance, laurel on the poster. I'm like, oh, that must be good. It went to Sundance.
Well, that's all because of Erin Greenwell, who wrote and directed it. She's sensational.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was one of the best 4 weeks of my life or so. Yeah, that was...
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, and it was cool because it was during a time when, like, it was put into a category at Sundance called Next, where it was, like, special to have, like, same-sex relationships, that kind of thing, queer-based films. Kate McKinnon was in it.
Oh, wow.
From SNL. Ashley Atkinson, Raul Castillo, some really, Paris Duran, like, really, really talented people that are still working and killing it. And Erin, actually, she was also part of the video game scene for a while there too. So I got to reconnect with her. And yeah, why did you bring that up though? That's funny.
Just because, like, I always do a check of what people have worked on or are working on, and just if something jumps out at me, because obviously people will have a lot of stuff in their credits list generally and stuff. If something jumps out at me, when I saw that, I watched the trailer because I saw it had a Sundance laurel, and I was like, I'm curious about this, I'd like to know more. So you've kind of given me enough information there, I feel, with it, to check it out.
I don't know about you, I'm like obsessed. I'm obsessed with Ashley Atkinson and all the actors in the film, but Kate McKinnon also is kind of fun for a lot of people. They're used to seeing her on SNL, and then like you see sort of like these archives of stuff she's done, and then like, obviously, I've told you all the gross things about myself and too much more information than you ever needed to hear. So I'm in it too. So enjoy that.
But did you, just out of curiosity, did you attend the premiere at Sundance and everything? And that's gotta be a hell of an experience. Like, just again, the filmmaker in me is like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I had a publicist and everything. I went to all the hot parties. I got lots of stuff, and it was actually, I want to do that again.
Me too. I want to do that for the first time.
I was going to make fun of it, and I was like, nah. But I did. I had like this guy like back then that was like, really trying to get me to like date him. He was like, I'll take you to Sundance. Like, we can go to these things. And I was like, I'm not going to Sundance until I star in a freaking movie at Sundance. And then a year after that happened, and I was like really proud. That was a huge life moment for me.
Definitely.
Because you don't want to feel like those things aren't yours. They need to be yours when they happen like that. And those kind of goals are so massive. And I love that you asked that, because a lot of people don't even know about that movie. It's very cool. Yeah.
Like I'm personally, like, at the moment I haven't worked on a film in like a couple of years. My last film took, yourself, you make it and then it's 2 years of actually getting it through post-production and releasing it and all of that stuff. But it finally went out in April, but then it went out in April just as lockdown was hitting, and I lost the LA premiere and all that stuff. So it was like,
really?
Yeah. But I was like, I started doing this channel at that time. I was like, I'll do something to distract myself from all the shitty stuff going on in the world. And now I read a script a couple of weeks ago that a 22-year-old that I've worked with a couple of times in the past, who's like a baby by comparison to me. I've known him since he was 16, 17. He brought me this script that I was expecting to just be memes and nonsense, like 100%. Because stuff he's done in the past has been really piss-takey memes and nonsense. But he brought me the script and I was like, this is a really good, heartfelt, coming-of-age drama comedy, like, which is not my wheelhouse typically. But I'm like, I'm so into it. Like, and that's straight away he was like, what? He asked me to come on and co-direct it. And I was like, absolutely. And he was like, what would be your goal for this? And I was like, Sundance. Like, this is a Sundance movie. Like, as you say, you have to set these goals for yourself and kind of try and materialize them into existence.
Yeah, you really do. Like, it's got to be something that you really focus on. And then, honestly, after that, it's persistence, because it's going to feel like nothing's ever going to happen, but something will, And you're creating your own shit. Like, obviously, like, you found ways to, you know, thrive and make sense of it for yourself, which, you know, that's what every good artist has to do. I've been trying to do the same thing, like renovate this house, paint this wall, set this on fire, whatever it takes. Like, you know,
exactly. Yeah.
Embarrass myself in an interview. Like, there's so many ways to do this.
No,
clearly I'm like losing it.
You're not. You're fantastic. Stop it, as we say here in Ireland.
It's the shirt. It's the shirt.
It's the shirt. No, like, yeah, I would not have. I'll just have to give a quick bit of credit because, yeah, we've created our own stuff and everything. I'll actually my production company is called Celtic Badger Media, and my husband, as I call him, got this custom vinyl made for me for my birthday last year. So I have to say, like, Barry Fahey, who is the cinematographer on all of my films and everything, I would not still be doing this stuff if I had not met him and worked with him, because as you say, it's too hard. If I didn't have somebody to turn to and be like, why is none of this shit fucking working, and have an outlet to vent to and work things out, I'd have given up years ago.
It's true. You need people in your corner, you know, like, I don't know if you saw the Tyson fight like the other night, but he's still got people in his corner. He's Mike Tyson. He's old as shit, and he's still got people in his corner. Like, you need people in your corner no matter what you're doing. It's hard though. If you want to do it all on your own, you can. It's really, really hard. Yeah. So yeah, I love that. Like, you're just making sense of it and staying strong. We're all going through a lot right now, right?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, it's not the best. I was gonna say it's not the best time in the world for creatives. Everyone keeps telling me it should be. Everyone keeps saying, like, oh, it's a great time because you can just sit and write, but like, motivation's low at the moment because
that's like for rich people. If you can just sit and write and like drink scotch and act like you're fucking Hemingway, great. I don't know about you, but I don't have that luxury right now.
Me neither. Although I wish. I just want to sit somewhere and drink scotch and write. Yeah, just get a cabin in the woods and go full. Yeah, like
couple of huskies you never have to take care of. They just exist like whenever you want them to. Yeah, exactly. Wait, so do you have a gaming chair? Is that
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it on Amazon cheap because I'm not, as you said, I'm not rich enough to go into the woods like Ernest Hemingway. And, but I have a gaming chair for this little channel setup thing.
I love it. It looks cool.
It does the job. It stopped the incredibly horrific back pain that I've had for the last like year and a half. So that
did it really?
Yeah. I slipped a disc in my spine last year, and it was not fun. I woke up in the middle of the night thinking I was having a heart attack, but it turned out it was just a slip disc.
Oh crap!
And my back has been in like basically constant pain for like a year. And
really?
And then I got this chair, but it definitely helped, but I also got like injections into my shoulder that like helped as well.
Like steroid stuff or whatever?
Yeah. Cause I basically like, I love that we're sharing so much. This is great. I basically like, it's a
you have the power to edit whatever you want, trust me. I'm just talking now at this point.
I love it. That's what I live for. Basically these two fingers have like less movement in them than they did before.
From the disc?
From the disc slip, because it like trapped a nerve or some shit.
Oh man. So do your feet go numb? Does that happen to you?
No, I don't have that, thankfully. For me, it's the two fingers that are just constantly numb.
That's probably worse if it's your hands, yeah.
It can be with games and stuff. Like, I was saying this, one of my friends, a speedrunner, and he was like, man, if that happened to me, my fucking career is over because my hands are everything. It's fine for me. I mean, typing is a little more complicated. When it first happened, I was dropping mugs everywhere. That was really shit because I
Holy
couldn't
crap.
grip them properly. So I'd go to like get a mug out of the cupboard, like, and it would just fucking fall on my hand and smash everywhere.
Wow.
So that was
like
annoying.
also you should get like one of these gaming chair places to like sponsor you, and you can be like, look,
it helped my back.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that because my mom has a slip disc and her feet just keep going numb. She's like, I don't think I'm ever gonna feel my feet again. I'm like, maybe I'll get her a gaming chair. Maybe it'll help something for you know.
Make sure you get the ones. Yeah, this one has like some lumbar support thing, and apparently that's a big deal.
I'll email you and ask you about it.
Yeah, we'll catch up on this. But so to kind of start closing this out, I guess. What have been some of the kind of best moments for you post Red Dead 2, like fan interactions or big events or things like that really stood out?
Well, you know, it's funny. A lot of that happened online because we weren't able to do Comic-Cons and stuff because of the COVID. But I did get to meet some fans online and the support and do like through virtual cons, like do like a little meeting and stuff with some fans, and it means so much. Like, you're talking about people that really love this world. They respect the fact that you put in time and effort into it, and they see you as somebody like they want to hear what you have to say, and I want to hear what they have to say. And it's like, it's a really beautiful little mini relationship to have in a moment. I just wish we could have had more. I really do. Like, it would have been very cool, especially because we have such a bond with the cast and the you know, sort of smaller Outlaw crew. And particularly the ladies that I'm so fond of, you know, it would have been great to have more of that, but I'm not going to dwell on that because it really has been such a sensational outpouring of like fans online. And like, I'm terrible at it though. Like, Paddy, I can't even keep up with like the messages, and I feel like such a jerk. Sam's so good at it. I'm sure everybody else is much better at it than I am. I'm just like, I will do the thing where I'll be like, well, how was your back? Like, I'll get too deep, you know, and then like all of a sudden I have, you know, a whole different relationship with a stranger. So I try to tread lightly, but then, you know, it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it. Yeah. And, you know, and also the proposals, there's been a lot of proposals, especially from like beautiful countries in the Middle East, that I'm definitely considering. So just so that's out there.
That solves
Don't take that part out.
That solves a lot of your problems then for like, if you do want to make stuff in the future, you know, you've got, you know, funding opportunities.
I'll get the scotch to be a writer in the middle of the desert. Okay, it's a trade-off.
Yeah. No, it sounds so cool though to have like, yeah, as you say, it's like the thing that I love about this game more than like there's very few games that I've done like big elaborate series of interviews on this channel about. And the reason that Red Dead works for it is because all the characters matter. Like, it's not like other games where you care about the lead, maybe a romantic interest, and then the bad guy, and they're the three characters that have any depth or meaning. Whereas, like, yeah, Red Dead, every person around that campfire, they've got a story, they've got, you know, depth, and so, like, yeah, exactly. But, like, the great thing is, right, every one of them as well is somebody's favorite character. Like, somebody out there is like that character. I have people who, like, I know talking to Howard, he was like, oh, everybody hates Strauss. But then he's like, oh, but I also have fans of Strauss who adore Strauss. And I'm like, that's crazy to me, because I thought everyone just would hate him because of the stuff in the game. But
well, I think the real villain is this existential dread, the reality of like that nothing really is going to come to us no matter what we work for, and that outlaw life is kind of about that. So you get the freedom, if you really know the game, to enjoy all the characters, because they're not really the threat. I mean, you could say the law is the threat, but we all know that's not really sound enough. Like, if you were going to break it down and make this into a novel, that wouldn't be responsible, you know, in terms of literary purposes. It'd be like, well, that's too easy. You know, it's deeper, it's darker than that. And I think that's cool that people are like, I love Uncle, and I'm like, he's a dick, you know, and they're like, I love Strauss, Mike is a jerk.
Oh yeah, exactly. That was the one character that I had no connect. Well, I suppose I did have connect, but yeah, I think you're right. Like, it's the finality of it all. It's like things are going to come to an end, whatever you do or not. Like, the ride stops at some point, and you just, when you get kicked off, you're off.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I didn't need this today. Like, seriously.
No, I love it. I brought it up and you just reinforced it. And I'm like, damn, we did a good job. But now I'm really sad. Fuck.
Teamwork.
I should go play some other video games where I rip somebody's head off and make a rainbow out of it. That'll cheer me up.
Exactly. There you go. Jo, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Quickly, can I just ask, do you do the social medias and stuff? And if so, where should people follow you?
Yes, I do. I do the social medias. I'm Jo Armeniox. I am JoArmeniox.
Perfect.
On Instagram, and I am at Jo Armeniox, the same spelling on Twitter, and I'm sure there's something else out there, but I don't know if they want to find me on LinkedIn or whatever.
Yeah.
Unless they have a job to offer me, or
in which case, a
proposal. I'll take it. Sure.
Yeah, guys, there will be links in the description as well to head over and follow Jo at all of those. And Jo, again, from the bottom of my heart, this was honestly, I don't think I've laughed this much in an interview.
You're lying. I hate you.
I'm not. Go back and watch them. I'm sure I've laughed. I have laughed. But, like, this has been a fucking riot. Like, it's... I knew from the second you came on and we were wearing matching shirts that it was going to be a good interview.
It was over. It was over. You couldn't get me to do anything right after that. I was like, we are one.
Oh, okay.
I had a fucking blast too. I'm really so grateful, and thank you for letting me curse, and thank you for letting me be the kind of mild disaster that I am. I'll let you know if it gets any worse, but this is really, really fun. I'm so grateful to be able to talk about one of my favorite experiences and to have people appreciate it. And if you ever want to bore your subscribers again, you just hit me up.
Oh, I appreciate that more than you will ever know, because my subscribers need to be bored every now and again. I need to keep fresh ways of keeping them bored.
Yes. You need the gray in the midst of all the fancy colors. I'm the gray. I can help you, I promise. I'm around. I'll be at the Target parking lot.
You are not the gray, you're the plaid. I think we figured that out. Or the tartan.
It does mean a lot, though. This is really, really fun. I'm so glad we got to meet you.
Same here, absolutely. And guys, I'm going to say what I always say, which is, if you like the video you saw here, please hit the thumbs up button to let us know that you enjoyed it. And also, please subscribe if you haven't already, because it would be awesome, because it's great to see this channel growing. We just hit 500 subs at the time that I'm putting this video out, which I never thought would happen when I started this in April. So it's this was, just meant to be something to keep me sane, and now it's actually turning into something that I actually enjoy doing all the time.
Amazing. Congratulations. Holy crap. Wow. Okay.
So yeah, guys, please do that. And once again, thank you so much, Jo. And
thank you, Paddy.
Yeah, I'll just finish this off with let's survive together and peace out. Bye, guys.
All right, so do I leave too now, or what do I do?
You don't gotta leave. I just stop recording now.